¿Qué es la que hay, mi gente? Bienvenido nuevamente a otro episodio más. Esto es el Gaming Podcast con Josué. Y hoy tengo un episodio muy especial para mí. Me acompañan dos amigos míos que son fanáticos de la lucha libre. Esos son mis hermanos, en otras palabras. Ellos se metieron aquí en el podcast y vamos a cubrir el Royal Rumble y vamos a platicar y decir quién va a ganar el Royal Rumble, quiénes son los últimos 4 que están ahí y quién va a ganar el WWE Champion y quién va a ganar el WWE Universal Champion. So, hoy vamos a cubrir esos temas y lamentablemente el episodio es en inglés porque uno de los panas que están en el podcast, él habla inglés. So, para que sepa, este episodio va a ser en inglés. Y si usted es nuevo en el canal, quiero que le dé share, dale like y suscríbete al canal. Yo hago videos semanales de los trending topics de la lucha libre. Normalmente todos los episodios han sido en español, pero como les dije, hoy es en inglés. Y quiero que se suscriban al canal, dale share y gracias por el apoyo. Y ahora disfruten el episodio del Royal Rumble predicciones con mis panas, mis amigos, Joseph y Carlos. And welcome. I've been waiting to do a podcast with these two fellas. These are my brothers right here. We got Joseph and we got Carlos. And welcome to the gimmick. What's going on, Carlos?
What's up, man? Listen, it's great to connect with you guys. Happy New Year, man. It's been a long time since we've connected in person. You know, the pandemic has us all messed up, right? But it's cool. It's pretty cool to connect with you guys and talk about our great pastime. You know, they always talk about the great American pastime, Joe. You know, it's not football, it's not soccer, it's not. It was always baseball. You know what I mean? For us growing up, the great pastime for us was wrestling, man.
Yeah.
It was only one company, baby. It was WWE. You know, back then it was WWF. So I'm gonna admit, I took a little break for years, and now having a son who's really involved in it, he kind of makes me watch it, and it's been growing back in me. So I'm looking forward to this discussion. So what's up, fellas? How y'all doing?
Good. Joe, introduce yourself, man. How you doing? I think Joe froze. I think.
Beyond that, I just want to bring everybody's attention to this. You know, Super Bowl champion Philadelphia Eagles, right? So Tom Brady announced his retirement today. Right?
Oh my God.
So I just want to remind everybody, this is one of the Super Bowls he lost. So that's why it's here. You know, congratulations to the GOAT, though.
Yeah. Wow, I can't believe he retired. I mean, 22 years, right? Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Pretty impressive. All right,
well, let's talk about our favorite time of the year, the road to WrestleMania. To me, and I'm pretty sure to you guys as well, this is the best time to be a wrestling fan when the Royal Rumble is right around the corner and it starts tonight. So let's talk about the Royal Rumble, guys.
Listen, Royal Rumble is exciting. It's unpredictable, and it really is the most exciting, a few hours. When we talk about the actual match, man, you know, the 30 man Royal Rumble, man, it's really exciting because you just don't know who's coming out and the surprises. So tonight's the night, man.
Yeah, tonight's the night.
And then actually, I want to remind everybody too that, you know, all of us that are here on this particular podcast right now, we have all witnessed Royal Rumbles live together. Me and Carlos back in 2005. Me and Lita 2 years straight, back to back. We are Royal Rumble OGs. And all three of them were great Rumbles too.
Yeah. When you guys went to, what was it, 2005? Who won?
Yeah.
Okay, let's move forward. Let's move forward.
Wow, baby.
They're gonna cancel the podcast. Let's move forward.
There's no holding me back. You know, never have a podcast again, Lita, by the time we're done.
You know what's crazy? I'm looking forward to this one. I feel like a previous Royal Rumble has been predictable, but this one specifically has not. I feel like anyone can win it. So, but before we talk about the Royal Rumble matches, let's talk about the two main events. Let's talk about Brock Lesnar and Bobby Lashley. Let's give our predictions to that match. It has been built up very well. This is a dream match that we wanted to see. They have never locked in the ring. And when Brock Lesnar was doing his UFC thing and Bobby Lashley was doing his MMA thing, they always wanted to lock up in the octagon. So it's good to see that they're finally locking up in the ring. So let's give a prediction. What you guys think about this storyline and who's going to win that match?
Yeah, we know who's going to win. It's going to be Brock Lesnar. Like, I don't even know why they're even fighting this match. You know, Lesnar, when he gets the belt, he has that belt for an entire year, and we'll see him like 10 times. So that's my prediction.
I really like the build up. They're really making Lashley look pretty solid, pretty strong. And you know, just looking back at his career, he's not a new kid on the block. He's been around for a long time now.
Yeah.
And I don't think he's had a run like this. You know, he was champion for how long? You know, he carried the belt, and now he's on the spotlight and being put in there with Brock. I think it elevates him, and it's pretty dope to see Lashley in there, man. And I think it's something that we're looking forward to see. I'm hoping that it'll be a good performance, right? And the prediction that I have is obviously Brock is going to win. I mean, he has to. I mean, if you think about SmackDown a couple of weeks ago, WWE planted the seed. Joe, you remember that?
Yeah.
When they went face to face and Brock had Roman Reigns in front of him, he planted that seed and he told him, look, you got what you want. I got what I want. Now let's give everybody what they want. Title for title. So they planted the seed there. I don't see how you can deviate from that. I don't see how you can not make that happen. Title for title. And in my opinion, you know, I know I'm getting off the topic here, but in my opinion, I think this is their opportunity to actually unify the title, because it seems to be a little bit pointless. You know, if you have the champion on both brands, which, I mean, if you look at the product, they're crossing over anyway. There's really no exclusive identity to the brand. I think they've been holding on to that for a long time. So this is their opportunity. Brock wins at the Royal Rumble. He beats Lashley. And then you have the mega match that everybody wants to see. And that's with Roman Reigns.
I don't know about that though, as far as unifying it, because if you think about it, as far as the network between Fox and Raw's on USA still, right? So like those are two different. You got NBC versus Fox. So I think a lot of that is that, you know, they both want to make sure that they have their own champion on their own individual show. So I would be kind of surprised if they unified it like that. But as a wrestling fan, I'd love to see that. But I think from the business side of things, I don't see them doing that.
Absolutely.
You know, let me give my prediction as well. Carlos, I do like your prediction, and I actually thought about that as well. But the thing that I think that WWE doesn't have the power to do that, in my opinion, because WrestleMania is 2 nights. They need 2 main events, so both titles got to be presented, and also because they have select superstars in USA, select superstars in Fox.
Sure.
I don't think they want to do that. But I think, and you guys can laugh, I think Bobby Lashley is going to win. I think somehow Paul Heyman is going to betray Brock Lesnar.
Yeah.
And I think that Paul Heyman was always with Roman Reigns, and it was all constructed by Roman Reigns to create this. And I just feel like Paul Heyman will be involved somehow, and it's going to cause Brock Lesnar to lose that match.
And then he'll face Roman Reigns at Mania.
Yeah.
I like that.
No, I got to tell you part 2 to that. That's part A, and then I'll tell you part 2 to that later on.
Okay.
Yeah. But that's my prediction. So you guys both got Brock, and then I got Bobby Lashley if that does happen. But let's go to the main. You know, this is the one. Roman Reigns versus Seth Rollins. And, you know, I'm not going to lie. I do like Seth Rollins a lot. I like this new character, this new gimmick that he's doing. And I wish he wins the champion, but there's no way, in my opinion, that he's going to lose. Roman Reigns cannot lose. So I have Roman Reigns going over. What about you guys?
Excuse me. Before we continue with this, acknowledge me. All right, continue.
But yeah, I got Roman. I want to hear you guys what you guys think about that. Like, who's gonna win that match?
I'll be honest. I feel like they just found Seth to be somebody that they can put him in there with, but I'm not feeling the story behind it, and so I'm not really interested in it, to be honest. And I think this is the point. Roman Reigns is so over. There's no way he's gonna lose.
Yeah,
and you don't want him to lose. Matter of fact, you don't want him to lose at WrestleMania. You want him to be undefeated, and this is what we all want. It's not about this WrestleMania. It's next year when he finally faces the great one, The Rock, who will pass on that torch, man. And finally, Roman can put a nail in that story right there, man, and go out. Because these wrestlers, as you guys know, they're not going to stay in the business forever. It's a different time, man. It's a different culture. They want to do movies. And Roman Reigns had a little taste of it. He did the Fast and the Furious. He was in there. And so, they have an opportunity to make money elsewhere where they're not abusing their bodies. They're not working 300 nights a year. So I think eventually it's going to lead to that, where Roman's is not going to lose. He cannot lose. And we will see that happen. And he's going to beat down The Rock, which is something that we all want to see. Right, Joe?
First of all, I am one of the millions and millions of the people who are always cheering for The Rock. But beyond that, though, what I will say is I'm a different kind of wrestling fan than most people. Like, I'm not usually so invested in the storylines, and I don't really particularly care about most storylines, although some of them are really, really good. Usually, what it comes down to me is the matchup. And this matchup between Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns, this is probably going to be the match of the year. I know we're only in January, but, I mean, this is going to be a great match. These two, they're great wrestlers, kind of at the top of their business right now. We got the Tribal Chief. We got Seth freaking Rollins. Every time they get into the ring with whoever the opponent is, they have outstanding matches. So this match, I'm expecting it to probably be the best match of the year. But I agree with both of you, though. There's no way that Roman's going to lose this at the Royal Rumble. There's no way that he's going to lose the championship before WrestleMania. Plus, he's our Tribal Chief, so he can't lose, right? He has to win. So that's who I have, and I think that's what's going to happen.
I agree. I do want to touch on what Carlos said, though. So we have Roman undefeated another year. That's kind of insane. Like,
if you think about it, it's never been done before. And if he's gone this long, why not make him the greatest of all time? This is the man. He's so hot right now that you can't do that with anybody else. I mean, if you look at the roster, who else can you put over like that? And I would hope that they would give him that Brock Lesnar treatment where they're not putting him in every week anymore. You wanna save that. You want to make that what do they call it now? They don't call it pay-per-views now. They call it the live premiere
premium
events. Premium events.
Live, live premium events.
Yeah, exactly. So you make him a box office attraction, and you save him. And that way he's still healthy, and people look forward to, because if you put somebody out there week after week, it gets old. It begins to fizzle out. And so they have an opportunity, man. I mean, think about it. If you go back to The Rock and Cena, they announced the main event 1 year in advance. Never been done.
Yeah.
The Rock wasn't wrestling every month. I think he came back maybe that summer and maybe in the fall. That's it. He probably wrestled twice, but it was in there, man. Like the anticipation, and that in itself, because John Cena was so hot, that allowed them to carry that out for another year, man. And it was big. It was box office, man. So yeah, man, I wouldn't mind seeing that 1 year. And I think what they haven't done though is they focus so much on Roman Reigns. what about everybody else? Because like if you look at the Finn Balor's, Roman just crushed him. And where's he at now? It doesn't seem like he's relevant. You know, he beats all these guys, but no one's being built up, man.
Yeah.
So that's the only concern, you know, because once Roman leaves, who's gonna be there? Who's gonna be that next star, right? So I think that's something that they have to use this coming year with could potentially, this is my prediction, it could be Roman Reigns' potential last full year run as you know, like a mainstay on TV character before he goes and takes a vacation. I'm not saying he's gonna leave,
Yeah.
but you know, I think that's something to be mindful of.
Well, that's the thing.
I
Hold on. Hey, I'm sorry, Joe. That's the thing,
no
though. That's the
problem.
problem. That's the problem with WWE, though, that they built Roman Reigns so good. Now Finn Balor, he's gone, and supposedly rumor is he wants out. Like he wants to leave WWE. Supposedly, those are the rumors in the internet. But also, you build up Roman Reigns as this invincible. Like you can't beat him. So who can beat this guy? Like you kill your whole roster now. Like nobody that they have is believable now to beat Roman.
Here's how they can do it. This is my suggestion. I'm gonna give you some creative spot here. Roman doesn't have to lose. No one has to beat him. But you remember Bret Hart and Stone Cold. Stone Cold didn't beat Bret Hart. But what happened that night? Stone Cold got beat up so bad that he gained the respect. He didn't quit. He didn't tap out.
Yeah.
He didn't get pinned. He bled and he was unconscious.
Yeah.
And that right there set everything in motion. That's the very thing that set everything in order for Stone Cold to be the next star. Because remember, Bret Hart was over. He was the main star, you know, a bigger star than Stone Cold at that time. What was it? WrestleMania 14, I think. And so you had other people coming up like Shawn Michaels, you know, you had, you know, Diesel, you had, you know, what they called, what was it? The new generation. Y'all remember that?
Yeah.
But so I think you put, and then this is one of the guys that I'm rooting for, man, Austin Theory, man. He doesn't have to beat Romans, but man, let Romans beat him to a pulp, but not let Austin Theory quit, man. Like let him put up a good fight, man. That'll set him up, man, for something. And this is why I think, not to get off this topic, but I think Austin Theory is going to have a great Royal Rumble match. He's not going to win it, but he might have a great Royal Rumble match. Hey, who knows? He might even come out with Vince McMahon. That would be epic.
Go ahead, Joe. I'm sorry. Go ahead. What were you about to say?
Well, I disagree with your whole Roman Reigns should have the championship for 3 straight years. As of today, he has been the Universal Champion for 512 straight days, right? So well, you're trying to add another 365 days to that. I don't think that's necessary. Like personally, I actually like fighting champions. I actually like to see someone have legitimate competition. And I agree that actually helps the roster of the WWE when you have legitimate competition. Plus, the WWE, they've been doing something that I've been asking them to do for a really long time now, and that's to have more diversity and more representation as far as like at the very top of their company. And over the last year or two, we have seen so many Black and brown champions get so many opportunities in the WWE. I like to see that continue. As far as people who could believably beat him, Big E is on SmackDown again now, it looks like, right? Because Xavier Woods got hurt. So now he's back there with Kofi Kingston in the New Day. So I think that he'd be a very believable person to beat Roman Reigns. And I wouldn't mind Roman, as much as I love Roman, y'all know that. You know, I acknowledge him every single week. But I do believe that would be a believable scenario in WrestleMania. They're making a triple threat, so he doesn't have to be pinned. And as far as your dream match next year, Carlos, that doesn't mean that he has to have the championship for an entire year to get to that match. I mean, he could lose it and then get it back at SummerSlam or something like that and carry it over to WrestleMania and fight the great one. So there's a lot of different ways that can happen without us having to have another Brock Lesnar situation where the man has the championship forever and we never see him, because that's something that I find boring, and that makes me not want to watch the actual content.
Yeah, and we're in agreement, because I think the problem is, Joe, they don't have anybody credible to beat him. And so right now, who on that roster can take the belt away from him? I'm sorry, it's not Big E. He held the.
Incredible. He had a great. He had no. He had a great title run. He had a great. And Bobby Lashley is credible too. as we're going to see with his match against Brock Lesnar tonight. But he's going to lose.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean he can't, somehow get to that picture with Roman Reigns going forward.
Yeah. No, I hear you, man. I hear you.
And what about the Scottish dude whose name I can't think of right now?
Drew McIntyre. I was going to bring him up.
Drew McIntyre,
he's injured,
right?
He's injured right now, but Drew, yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, eventually he's going to come back. He'd be a very credible person to beat Roman. And hold up, and I will give you Seth freaking Rollins. I mean, we all agree that he's not going to win it tonight, but he's already beat him 2 or 3 times for the Universal Championship at WrestleMania. So he's a very credible person to beat the head of our table. I think there's people out there. I think there's people coming up. And I think there's options other than have him be champion for another 355 straight days.
Yeah, no, absolutely, man. It's whether or not they put that in motion, right? And because you can't right now, like tonight, you can't put Roman Reigns in a match with Big E and see Big E win. It's not gonna feel right. You know what I'm saying? Like they haven't really given Big E the platform, man. I think they can make him look better, before they can put the strap on him, right? But that's
the road to WrestleMania, Carlos.
That's it, man.
Everybody's going to start pointing to the sign. They're going to start pointing to the sign tonight. Watch.
Hey, look. Speaking of that, pointing to the sign. Let's talk about the Royal Rumble then.
There it is.
Can we talk about the Royal Rumble? Because let's talk about the male Royal Rumble since we're in the Roman Reigns topic, and then we can cover the female one. Who's gonna win the Royal Rumble? And before we talk about who's gonna win the Royal Rumble, let's talk about the surprise entrance that there's rumbling. The forbidden door. Supposedly, I put air quotes because I don't believe it. There's only one confirmed, but I don't think there's gonna be more. But who are the surprise superstars or wrestlers or even pro wrestlers that can come to the Royal Rumble?
Leo Rush.
Oh my god. Carlos,
it's time for him to come home. It's time for him to come home.
I got a couple. Ronda Rousey for the women's. Well, I know we're talking about the men's, but I just want to announce that name out there because I feel like they need help in the women's side, right? I want to back up a little bit. It goes connected with the men's Royal Rumble. What if they start off the pay-per-view? Because, they do this sometimes. They might start off with the Royal Rumble match or with the championship match. They do that, man, and they set that bar high. If they were to do that, imagine if they started off with the Brock Lesnar match and Brock loses. He gets screwed over. And then Brock gets so upset that he figures out a way to get into the Royal Rumble.
That's part B right there. That's what I was about to say.
Yeah.
That's what I have him lose him. Yeah.
And he wins and then he fights. And to your credit, Joe, he doesn't necessarily, it doesn't have to be title for title. But I go back to, why did they plant that seed a couple of weeks ago when Brock said, look, let's do title for title. So that to me kind of bringing some confliction. Maybe they're doing it on purpose to cause this type of discussion, So as far as the men's Royal Rumble, I think that would be a surprise, Brock Lesnar. And then I'll say this, a standout Austin Theory. I think this is an opportunity. They have to do it now because they can't keep milking it with these little segments with Vince McMahon, who you can barely understand now. He's getting up there in age, so the kid looks great, man. He's strong. He looks like he could have the charisma. It reminds you a little bit of John Cena when he first started, and he comes from a different generation, man. So I do like that swag that he comes in with the selfies and, he comes with that bad boy mentality, or what is it? The heel mentality. Right. So that's that. I'm rooting for him, man. Austin Theory. Let's go.
Yeah, for me, I'm going to go back to my original prediction, and I'm saying Big E. I think the way that Big E lost the championship to Brock Lesnar, I think that was a bit off. I know why they did it because Roman was going through his whole COVID thing. Because originally that match was supposed to be Brock and Roman, right? but then everything kind of messed up at that pay-per-view. So Brock ended up going in that fatal 4-way and took the title from Big E. So that leads me to believe that originally the plan was for him to take the title from Roman Reigns. So I think that Roman was supposed to lose that title, but he didn't. So I personally would like to see Big E win the Rumble. I think that would be cool. I think that would be a cool way to kind of get him into that conversation on the road to WrestleMania.
I feel bad to tell you this, Joe, but there's no way that Big E is gonna win the Royal Rumble because he doesn't put seats in Mania. He won't put asses in seat. He won't.
Look,
I think
that's Roman's job.
There's no way.
That's Roman's job to put the asses in the seats. I mean, we're going to acknowledge him, so no matter who he's fighting, right? So, I mean, obviously, it's not. Well, actually, it could be Seth Rollins if the winner goes up against Brock Lesnar. But I mean, the match that I would actually really want to see would be Rollins versus Reigns again at Mania. But they're doing it now at the Rumble. So, but this Rumble match tonight, it feels like a Mania match. So, like, are they going to do that again? I would say probably not. So, it's like, who do I want to see? I would like to see Big E get that opportunity again.
I'm with you too. Like, I'm with you in the fact that they screw Big E. I think it's so messed up how he lost the title, and there was rumors that he wasn't supposed to lose it. But you know, the COVID protocol that occurred with Roman, Brock got in the mix and he lost it, and I think that's messed up. But you know, I understand why they put the belt on Brock in that aspect. But to me, I gotta say the part B that Carlos just said, Brock Lesnar, he's mad. He lost to Bobby Lashley. He's gonna enter the Royal Rumble and win it, and that is so WWE. And
yeah, it is.
So
but I don't see Brock losing to Bobby Lashley tonight. I just don't see it. I see both Roman and Brock going to WrestleMania as champions. Like you said earlier, it's a 2-night event, right? You got one on one night, you got the other on the other night. That's perfect. Like if I'm booking it, that's what I want to see. That's what I want to put out there. That'll put asses in the seats.
Yeah.
So I don't think him losing it like that, and then you're going to have Lashley, and then you have this other match. Like make both of the matches. You know,
yeah, but if it doesn't happen with Brock, you know, my pick, you know, I always have 2 picks.
Oh my God.
I think
you like that 7 picks.
Yeah. I think that the guy that's gonna win it, and I have a feeling he could win it, it's you guys gonna laugh, but I think it's Kevin Owens. He just got an extension with the company. He and you know the company
like, really?
I know. They gave him a contract, and on his contract, you can't fire him. Like they really showing that they wanted Kevin Owens. So if he just recently signed with them, there's a reason why WWE wants him. I feel like it's time for Kevin Owens to finally get his due at Mania. He got gypped from Chris Jericho. Remember that storyline, the best friends, that they were going to headline WrestleMania, and then Goldberg came and interrupted that, and Goldberg stole the Universal Champion from Kevin Owens, and Kevin Owens never
why I don't think that KO is going to be doing this. Like they've already screwed him over. They've already shown what they think of him. They let him have that belt for a month. Goldberg came in there, that ultimate part timer, took it from him, left, and he never even got a rematch. So
and never won a champion after that. The WWE champion, he disappeared from the title picture. So I just feel like it's either Kevin Owens or AJ Styles, but I got to go with Brock or KO. Those are my 2 picks. So I gave you 3 picks there.
Give me your final 4. Who do you think are going to be the final 4? Because you know they make a big deal out of that.
I gotta go with Kevin Owens. I'm gonna go with Damian Priest. Damian Priest has been the United States champion I was at WrestleMania 37 and he was the champion. So he's been a year. He hasn't lost that much. And I feel like WWE is really booking him right, and they want to keep him strong. So I feel like he's going to be in the final 4, and then AJ Styles and Brock Lesnar, if Brock Lesnar is there. Those are my final 4.
That's good. What's yours, Joe?
Well, first of all, if this happens like you guys are predicting and Brock Lesnar enters the Rumble, he's going to be number 30. Like, he's going to be the final 4. He's going to come in, you know, number 30 is going to appear on the screen, and his music's going to come out. He's going to come right into the ring. That's how that's going to happen. So,
or 31. Surprise everybody.
I know, right? But if that happens, of course he's going to win. There's no question about
Yeah,
it. Like, if
yeah.
they wouldn't do that unless they're going to make him win. For my final four, I mean, I agree with you with Damian Priest. And I'm going to also say Big E. And then I would also give it to probably Randy Orton and the bro. What's his name? I would say both of them.
Riddle.
Riddle.
Matt Riddle. Yeah, Matt Riddle. I would say both of them will be in there, and it will kind of be like a whole challenge to their whole tag team thing they have going on right now. I think that would be kind of cool.
That would be cool. I actually like your both of y'all picks. That's pretty cool. I have AJ Styles, Kevin Owens, Brock Lesnar, and I'm not sure if he's even in there, Ricochet. This kid,
Ricochet.
Yeah, man. I think he deserves a push, man. I'm not saying that he's gonna win, but have him spotlight him. You know, the Final Four is a great spot, man, where you wanna, you have a legend like AJ Styles, you have a mainstay like Kevin Owens. Matter of fact, you put Kevin Owens in there number one, and you make him stay the whole shebang. His credibility, his stock price is gonna go up, so that would be pretty cool because he kind of
like CM Punk.
Yeah,
like CM Punk did that one time, but he wasn't competing that much.
Yeah,
he was
rolling all over the ring.
Yeah,
we were there,
but he was number one. Yeah,
we're there.
Yeah.
But hey, I want to throw a monkey wrench into that though. What about this? So Kofi Kingston, now, like when he is in a Rumble tonight, he is going to now be second in Rumble appearances behind King, right?
Oh, wow.
So what if they finally, instead of just using him as that guy that does the crazy shit to stay in the match, that they actually give him a legitimate chance? So I want to put him as my dark horse. I'm going to pull Alito here. I'm going to pick my final five. And I want to put Kofi in there as the dark horse.
Final five, Kofi.
That's good.
But speaking of that, also Randy Orton, you brought up Randy Orton. Randy Orton has won 2 previous Royal Rumble. The only guy that has won 3 Royal Rumble, you guys remember, is Stone Cold Steve Austin. Yeah, Stone Cold. So if Randy Orton wins it, which for God's sake, I don't want that to happen, but if it does, he'll tie Stone Cold Steve Austin with the most Royal Rumble winners. So
not this year.
But let me go back to the Forbidden Door real quick. Cody Rhodes has been tweeting today. He's supposedly, I'm going to put air quotes, he's supposedly a free agent. He hasn't signed back with AEW, which doesn't make sense because he's an executive producer with AEW. So I feel like that doesn't make sense. But he's been tweeting saying that he's in St. Louis. So either he's trolling the fans or he wants to let people know that he's going to be in the Rumble. What you guys think about that? If AEW Cody Rhodes pops up at the Rumble,
I feel like it's trolling. Like the WWE, they never used him, right? You know what I mean? Like they never gave him the real opportunity. He did some really good work for them. I feel like he's trolling.
Yeah, I think it's part of their storyline in AEW, and I'm not really up to date with it, but from what I've seen, the little glimpses, I think it's just because I think he showed up recently, if I'm not mistaken. So apparently he showed up, but he was a free agent. So I think it's more of a storyline.
Yeah.
But I think it works against AEW too because it's giving WWE that extra, push. So people do want to tune in because the consensus is, well, it's not just Mickie James. There's got to be somebody else. You know, and I think and it's interesting. Like, why would they do that? What's the point of that? What do you guys think about that? Like, why are they opening up this door? And she's not just coming in as a contracted wrestler with another company like TNA, right? She's coming in as their champion. Is there more to this? Like, what do you guys think about that?
Joe,
you want me to answer that real quick? Because I got a lot to say. I feel like
I already know. I'm about look on your face. This is you. Please.
I feel like WWE is doing that because of all the releases they did last year with the COVID protocol. They have nobody, especially in the female division. They have a lot of female spots open, and supposedly they ask other female wrestlers that they let go to participate in the Royal Rumble, and they said no. Because they're bitter of the release, and I understand. And another reason that shocks me that Mickie James agreed to this, the way that Mickie James got fired is so out of pocket by WWE. Supposedly they put all her stuff in a trash bag and gave it to her. That's a public news that was released, and she talked about it. She confirmed that it was real. So in my opinion, like, I don't understand why she even agreed to this. You know, I know WWE is the company that everybody watches and all that, but you also have to put a chip on your shoulder and be like, you know what, I'm better than this. You fired me, put all my stuff in a trash bag. Why am I going over there for one day event? That's the way I would look at it. But I understand why she's going over there.
Well, no, the wrestling business don't work that way. Like, the wrestling business is cutthroat. It always has been. It always will be. So no matter how badly Vince or a company screws over a wrestler, they're always going to come back. We've seen Bret Hart come back, and who got screwed more than Bret, right? So like that's not even a thing. If the money is there, if the offer is there, the wrestler is going to take that over any sort of like hurt or bad feelings. The only person who might actually not be like that is CM Punk, but everybody else, yeah, they'll come back if Vince comes calling. Of course they will.
Yeah, CM Punk eventually. Oh man.
This is the first Royal Rumble that we can actually say CM Punk is not showing up. Remember, every year
it's the first one you can say.
Yeah, I can finally say CM Punk is not showing to the Rumble.
You never know what might happen in the WWE.
And then, you know, there's always a celebrity at the Rumble, right? We're gonna wrap this up and talk about the female, but there's always a celebrity at the Rumble. You know what the rumor is?
What?
Bad Bunny. He's showing up at the Rumble.
So. I hope so.
On his Twitter or his Instagram, he put himself he recorded himself getting off the jet plane, and then he says in Spanish, hace mucho frío, it's so cold out here. He started going and then he started laughing. So he's like either trolling us as well, but Bad Bunny might be there. That's the rumor.
Well, don't forget.
I actually meant to say that. I was thinking about that too. Because like I don't know anything about Bad Bunny's music. I will be honest, I don't listen to it at all. I've never heard it. I don't know anything about him other than what you tell me because you're a fan, Lito. But his match at Wrestlemania last year, that was the best part of Wrestlemania. Legitimately to me, like I feel like I don't know how good he is at rapping or reggaeton or whatever, but he's probably a better wrestler.
But
like
Carlos,
he is that good.
If Bad Bunny is there, how would you use him at the Rumble? I have an idea how I would use him. I would use him eliminating Damian Priest.
Oh, that's good.
Like that would be so good and entertainment, like a heel turn.
That would.
And then he bounces. Like
now
that'll be dope.
The only thing that crushes that conspiracy is the fact that they already have Johnny Knoxville in the Royal Rumble. So he's kind of like this celebrity, that's in there. So that's gonna be interesting. But might come out and eliminate him. Probably Kane. Kane always eliminating and beating up celebrities.
That would be good. Yeah,
he'll probably just come out and scare him or something, and then you'll have a WrestleMania match between them two or something like that.
But let's talk about the females.
And let's talk about Johnny Knoxville. I hate those jackass guys. I know we're about to move on, but I can't stand jackass. I'm fine if he doesn't ever do this ever again.
If they want to bring people like Johnny Knoxville, I'd rather see the Impractical Jokers in there, man. I've been binge watching them this week, and they're pretty funny, man.
I saw their movie. Like that was the last movie I saw before the pandemic. The Impractical Jokers.
Oh, really? I didn't see it. I've watched the show, but I'm not sure about the movie. I didn't even know the movie came out, so I gotta check it out.
Yeah, it came out like they shut down everything in Delaware like March 15th. Movie came out like March 10th, and that was the last movie I actually wanted to go see before they shut everything down.
Oh, so you definitely won't forget that.
It was the only thing I hadn't seen at that point, and I knew they were about to close the theaters for God knows how long. So I was like, all right, let's do this. But sorry, I digress, Lito.
Yeah. We're losing it. So let's talk about the females, and I feel like this is going to be a good one. You know what? This one has potential to be better than the men's. I feel like, because we all agree it could be Brock or it could be someone that a wild card, but I think it's going to be Brock if he loses to Bobby. But for the females, who the hell can win the Rumble? Like, there's so many options there.
I got 3 words for you. Feel the glow. So I'm gonna
Oh
say.
my god.
Naomi, let's go.
Who's in it? Is the EST in there?
Yeah, we have the Bianca Belair, which is my pick. She's one of my picks, but we have
It's your
Charlotte
girl,
Flair,
too.
which is weird. Charlotte Flair, the champion, is
champion,
competing. Yeah, she's gonna be in the Rumble as well, which that doesn't make sense to me.
Well,
And
if she wins, that means that she doesn't have to. Well, that's not.
She gets to pick. She gets to pick her opponent. That's what she.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Okay.
And then we have like legends like Lita, which that's
That's
interesting
good.
to me. That's a good one as well. Like, are they gonna give her a WrestleMania run? Like, that would be kind of dope. She never had a WrestleMania moment because back in the day, those divas were not getting WrestleMania spots. So like that's interesting to me if Lita is in there, and if she actually wins it, it'll be entertaining. Imagine her versus Becky, or her versus Charlotte. That's a good match.
Is Becky going to be in it too?
No. Meaning, we all agree Becky's going to retain the champion. So either Lita, if she wins, she goes against Becky, or Charlotte Flair. Like she picks. But also is what's her name? Bailey. Is she going to return? We haven't seen her in a while.
That's a good one.
What about Asuka? Asuka hasn't been on TV in a while too. Like, there's options out there.
Wow, they have a lot of upside.
Yeah, I feel like the females there, a lot of people can win it. We just don't know who. But I think what Carlos says, I think Ronda Rousey makes her return and she wins it.
That would be cool. I think that's something that that I think that would be great if Ronda's ready to come back. I think that's the only option. That's the only answer that makes sense. But going back to what you are saying about Bianca Belair, though, she got screwed too, just like Big E got screwed as far as her title match when the Mon came back and beat her in like 2 seconds. So it would be cool to see her win it too. I wouldn't mind that.
Yeah, I definitely want to see her at the end, and it'll be great. I don't even want Ronda to win. I think this is an opportunity for, if they do bring Ronda, put the EST against her and make EST shine, man, because she has that potential to be that mega star. I mean, she's really strong. Like, she's legitimately strong. I mean, you look at her frame. Like,
but they killed her. Did you see that with Becky?
That's what I'm saying.
Her. They were building her up as like definitely like the strongest of the women. But then Becky comes in there and like just slaps her down in like 3 seconds flat.
Yeah,
and that's it. Was horrible. You know what I mean? Like, it was horrible. But
like, I feel like they buried her with that. It would be kind of hard. I mean, it would be nice if she wins it to get her to get back up to that level, because you know how I feel about my sisters and my brothers, right? So, like, I'm more than happy to see that, but I don't know. It feels like they just, I don't know, they gave up on her. I don't know what it is or what happened with that.
Yeah, man. It's gonna be exciting. It's gonna be exciting to watch. I think the final four, I would say, you leave Lita in there. You put, of course, Sasha Banks. She's got to be in there. I was a little surprised that they showed her this week on, I think it was on SmackDown, coming back. They should have left that surprise for the Rumble itself. That would have been cool. But you know, I guess what's his name? Bruce Pritchard.
Yeah, Bruce Pritchard. Yeah,
couldn't hold himself.
Yeah,
because he is at the helm of creative at everything they do now. And so it's the WWE thing to do, right? This would be the WWE thing to do. Ronda Rousey winning. And I don't want to see that.
Just like Brock winning. It's the same thing. But so who you got? Lita, Becky, Sasha, and who's your fourth? Ronda? Or
yeah, I'll put Ronda in there. Yep.
What about you, Joe?
I'm going with the Queen, Charlotte Flair. I'm going with the EST, Bianca Belair. I'm going with Feel the Glow, Naomi. And I'm going to go with Ronda. I like where y'all coming with that. So I'm going to go with Ronda.
Yeah, I'm going to go. Actually, I love what you said about pushing Bianca Belair and her eliminating Ronda. That will be so dope. And that's you making things right with her. Like, you try to do it in Survivor Series by her like beating 3 other wrestlers and her winning the Team SmackDown, or was it Team Raw? My bad. But I feel like I don't think Bianca will be the final four. It will be Ronda, Charlotte, if Bailey does make a return, Bailey, and then Lita. I feel like somehow they're not gonna put Bianca there. I feel like my winner is Lita.
Bailey is overrated, and Lita is old, so like I don't know. That's not a weak Final Four to me.
I feel like Lita is gonna get that because you know why I think why I think Lita's gonna win it all, because the only reason why Lita is returning to the Rumble is because AEW was gonna get her, and they were interested in upping up the female division. And Mr. McMahon was like, "Wait a minute, let me get Lita back." Like she went to WWE and said, "Hey, they're offering me a contract over here. Can you match it?" Basically, what Edge did. That's how Edge returned to wrestling. The AEW gave him a contract, and Edge is so loyal to WWE. He brought it up to Vince, and Vince was forced to hire him as well or get him back. But I feel like it's Lita.
Let me book the WrestleMania match for the women. So, Ronda is eliminated by the EST, Bianca Belair. But they have a great finish at the next, premium event. Bianca fights or Ronda fights, for the number one contendership for the women. It could be a 3-way, 4-way, whatever they want to do. Mm-hmm. And then that sets up WrestleMania. You have Ronda and Bianca would win WrestleMania. I think that would be epic, man.
Wait, who's the champion in your whole scenario?
Oh, so at the next live event, Bianca would win it from whichever champion it is. Yeah, so that would be the setup. For if you want something big, right? Box office, that's something that I would book.
I feel like it would be Ronda versus Charlotte at the end because she's the queen and she's the box office on the women's side. And I think that Ronda would beat Charlotte. And that's what match we would see at WrestleMania is Ronda versus Charlotte. I think that's the box office match.
Maybe the dream match. Go ahead, Carlos.
No, I was just going to say, maybe you can see Charlotte and the man at WrestleMania. And kind of...
So then isn't Becky champion right now? When's she going to lose it? She's going to lose it at the Rumble?
No, at the next live event.
The next one is Elimination Chamber. Yeah. But the dream match is Ronda versus Becky. That's the match everyone wants to see.
Really?
That was the match that was supposed to be happening on the first ever WrestleMania main event that they put Charlotte. Remember, it was Ronda versus Charlotte versus Becky. But what we all wanted was Becky versus Ronda. So I feel like they're actually going to make that happen at WrestleMania. And then I feel like it's going to be Lita versus Charlotte at Mania, which is a good event as well. That would be dope. But
can Lita still fight? Has she been wrestling? Can she still? Yeah, she still got it.
We will find out tonight.
Are you just saying that? You don't sound very sure about it. You're like, yeah, maybe, possibly. I don't know.
But also, I forgot to mention,
have somebody in there that can't fight. Come on now.
Before we leave, I want to, so you guys know that I'm real when it comes to Brock Lesnar losing. All right. The reason why I feel like Brock is going to lose, he publicly said it that he's not going to be at Saudi Arabia, and that is where the Elimination Chamber is taking place for the next premium event. And if Brock Lesnar is not there, who's going to defend the title and Elimination Chamber? It has to be Bobby. So that's why I feel like Bobby's going to win it. Brock Lesnar's going to win the Rumble. And that's how we eliminate Brock Lesnar not going to Saudi Arabia because he doesn't want to go with it.
Why can't Roman defend the title in that match?
I think both champions are defended in the Elimination Chamber, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong, but maybe you're right. No, but that's the next event. The next event is Elimination Chamber. So, and in Saudi Arabia. So I feel like Brock Lesnar, knowing that he publicly said he's not going over there, that's how I feel like Bobby's going to win.
I'm proud of him.
Yeah, I knew you were going to like that.
Stay away from Saudi Arabia. Yeah, I like that. I like something that Brock does that, I like.
But I want all of us, before we leave, to point to the invisible sign. Because it's the road to WrestleMania.
We're on the road to WrestleMania.
Thank you guys for doing this. And Carlos, if you want to plug something, or Joe, I appreciate you guys.
Yeah, man, it was cool. It was cool coming on, man. You guys are the true heroes. You guys are the real wrestling fans. I'm just getting back into it. So little by little, man, we're going to we're going. Hey, it's gonna be. I think it's gonna be a great event tonight. I really do. My son is looking forward to it, so he's got me excited about it, man. So I get to turn back the clock, man, and be young again, just like you guys, you know. So that's great.
Yeah, well, this is Lito's podcast, so he's a real wrestling fan here. Like, mostly I watch SmackDown nowadays, but I get a lot of my wrestling news from Lito. So everybody like and subscribe.
Come on.
To Mr. Lito's podcast.
Thank you.
He's going to teach us how it's done.
You heard it first. Let's go.
I appreciate you guys, man. Enjoy the Rumble, man. Enjoy it.
All right.
All right. Peace.